Okay.
All right. You are not able to understand a client because you suspect that they are heavily medicated when you arrive at the hospital. The nurse says they're not taking any meds and they haven't given him anything. They should be able to understand you. What's the conflict? What would you do about it and why?
Okay. The conflict is I've been called to interpret and I can't understand the deaf person. So what do I do? That's the conflict. What should I be doing at this point? The perspective of the deaf person is that they need to have this message communicated, but apparently there's been a communication breakdown between the two of us for some reason. My suspect is that it's medication, but I don't know. The hearing person's perspective is that, the nurse, the hearing person's perspective is that I should be able to communicate with them just fine. It's not a medication problem, and she wants us to communicate, go ahead and do it. My perspective is I'm struggling, I can't do it. I'm having a hard time. So the Code of Professional Conduct tells me that out of respect for consumers that I would ask for assistance. I could ask for possibly a certified deaf interpreter to come with me because somebody else, a certified deaf interpreter might have more of a specialized skill than what I would have, and they might be able to assess the situation better than me and figure out what the problems could be. Foreign language, they could be from another country, it could be foreign language, it could be home signs, it could be lots of different things that I'm not aware of. So I would call for assistance and ask specifically for a certified deaf interpreter to come with me. The short-term consequence of that is that I would assume that this situation would be resolved, that the communication would be effective, and the information would be obtained and delivered both ways. The certified deaf interpreter would work with the deaf person. The information would be received from the deaf patient to the certified deaf interpreter, to me, to the nurse, and back and forth. That's the way that works. The short-term perspective of the hearing person is that the information would be received. The long-term consequence of that is that the deaf person would feel confident that I would be able to admit when I needed help and call an appropriate person to come and work with me to make sure that the communication was effective, and that the hearing person would also know that one interpreter might not be sufficient for a particular situation, and every situation could be different.